La familia unida jamás será vencida.
Hey, I'm Robert Masonette, the host of Latin Voices, our talk show web series that's going to be coming to you into our second season premieres. So we'll be interviewing cast members, crew members, as well as other Latin artists who are doing their own projects to make you aware. It's really important that you go out there and support Latin artists. Because Rita Moreno says so, damn it. Anyway, today our guest is Stephanie Ferrer, who is the executive producer, one of the executive producers of Latin Lives, the web series. And also, I have to say it, so you guys know, we wouldn't be having a web series if it wasn't for Stephanie. So, thank you for coming to me at the bar at 3 in the morning and saying, "Hey, I got an idea."
Why don't we do this?
So yeah, so why don't we start there? Why don't you tell me, like, what made you come up to me and tell me that? Where did that all come from? Like, where did the idea pop into your head?
Well, it was our last night. It was back in June, and it was our last show. And you gave me the opportunity to sit out in the audience before my turn to play Carmen. And I sat in the audience, and I'm just watching these great performers and this amazing show. And I'm just sitting there, and I was just like, this can't be done. Like, this can't be the last show. This can't be our last performance. There has to be a way to keep this going and to keep, spread the word, and to keep this Latin community aware of what we're doing here. And these actors who I think are amazing, we need to, like, expand this. So I'm sitting at the bar, and it was our rap party type of thing, or the bar that we went to every night. And I was talking to Alessio and to Sean, shout outs, and I kind of just glazed over the idea of, like, what if we do like a web series? And then of course Sean got really excited, and he was like talking about a whole bunch of stuff that we can do, and Alessio was like, why don't you talk to Robbie about it? So, and that's when I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna approach him. I'm gonna tell him this is what has to happen. And that's how it kind of sort of came about.
Wow. That's because on my end, I remember you guys coming to me, or you specifically, you were the ringleader, and I was just tired. I was tired, and I was just like, sure, yeah, whatever, I don't know. And it wasn't until like the next day that I was like, hey, are you serious about this? Because I've never, my background is theater. I've directed numerous shows. I've acted in film, but I've never been behind the scenes in films.
Right.
So that was one of my main concerns, and I remember you specifically telling me, like, I got this. This is my background, and I just want the audience to know that, because literally this would not be happening without you. I mean, we've had so many bumps in the road with this project where it just seemed like it wasn't gonna happen, and
right.
your tenacity and determination, and you just, thank you for believing in this project, for believing in me, for pushing me. It's been a crazy year and a crazy ride, but I honestly wouldn't change a minute of it.
Me neither. I mean, we have, like you said, have our bumps and stuff, and all of our, like, is this gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? Or, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it won't work out. And I really like the fact that we just don't give up, and we're like, okay, well, there's got to be another way, and we find out different ways. And from the beginning, it's like, all right, no, I'm not done with this. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. And, like, the people that have come on, and even the people that, have left the show, they've all been, great. And I'm so grateful to meet every one of them, and just to be a part of this, and for the opportunity from the beginning, from day one back in January. Everything that has transpired through this has been amazing for me. It's a great experience. I wouldn't change it.
What's been the most challenging thing about working on the project?
Wow. There's so many. There's so many. I guess, when we first started the whole thing, it was like where do we start? And once that came into play, the whole SAG stuff was like, I don't know how to do this. and I don't know how to work with this. And from there, it just like scheduling, I think, was like one of the biggest issues.
Issues for you,
yeah, that it was just like hard to get everyone together because everyone has their day jobs and everyone does their own thing also. And this is a non-paid project, so it's hard to get help without having to just be like, hey, do it for the love of it, or just because we're friends or something. Like, help me out.
Non-paid right now. We're hoping.
Yes.
We'll be talking to you guys shortly about how you can help out with that. But anyway, so then what? All right. So that's been one of the most challenging things. What's been one of the most rewarding things for you doing this? Like what is?
All right, this is gonna sound really cheesy.
Right.
It's you guys. Because I moved here about 2 years ago, like February, and I left my entire family and all of my friends back home. And when I moved here, I felt a little bit out of place. And where I work, there's not really, that big of a Latin community, and obviously where I lived was in Jersey neither. And I wasn't able to like go out or meet anyone. And once I joined this project, it was like, oh my God, a whole bunch of Latin people. And I feel like I fit in and I feel like we get along. And like you guys have really made me feel like I have friends and I have a family here and I have people that I can count on. And, and I really appreciate that. And that's something that's been like, I think the most rewarding out of everything.
Dad, you're making me cry. I'm gonna cry.
Plus the fact that you guys are extremely talented.
Oh my God! See, that made me. The reason that I'm really crying. The reason that made me cry is because that's the reason that the show started. For those of you who are just catching up, before there was a web series, there was a play, Latin Lives, and one of the reasons that I created the play was for that very reason, to have this community of Latin actors working together, both on stage, behind the scenes, and really, so the fact that that's the way you feel about it, just, oh God, all right.
It's crazy though, because that's how I grew up. I went to performing arts school when I was in high school, and we were all so close, and of course in Puerto Rico, we're all Latin, so, we were all so close, and we were like a family, and and then moving out here, I realized, like, it's hard for Latinos in this industry. And I was just like, I figured, like, okay, yeah, it'll be a little difficult or whatever, but it's a lot harder for us, and that's why I'm so happy that there's so many shows out there that are giving people the opportunity, like, I don't know if I can say them without getting sued.
What?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine and like Jane the Virgin.
We can mention this.
Okay.
So this is a web talk series. You can say whatever you want.
Okay, good.
But
I love those shows, and that's something that I really enjoy, that they're giving like opportunity to Latino artists and stuff, and I think that's what I love also about Latin Lives, that we give the opportunity to Latinos to play doctors and cops and nurses and head honchos, lawyers, and whatever, and we're not just maids and servants and stuff. And
not that there's anything wrong with being a devious maid.
It's not that there's anything wrong with that either. Whatever pays the bills. But the opportunity for a Latina girl to like direct this web series is like also something that I find that's really cool.
Yes, I forgot to mention that she's also our director. I knew. You know what? I was saying your title. I was like, I'm forgetting something. She's the director.
I have a couple of titles. I'm also in episode 8. If you look out for it.
Miranda, and I can say Miranda will be back in season 2. When you were so you went to a performing arts school in Puerto Rico. When you were in what was your goal? Was your goal to act or just direct or write, or what was it that? I mean, obviously you went to this school because you wanted to be in this business. In what aspect?
Well, when I went to high school, I've always danced. Dance is my actual real background, and I've done that since I was about 4th grade. Maybe I've always danced in different groups and stuff, and in school, and the performing arts school, it's very broad. There was a dance group, theater, and music, everything that embarked in performing arts. It was amazing. People from all over the island would go to that school on weekends. And it's Gaba and all my Gaba people, hey. So when I auditioned for the school, I actually auditioned for dance, and I didn't get accepted. And then my friend's like, why don't you try out for theater? and it was probably the only and best audition I've ever given in my entire life. And I got into the school, and theater, I just fell in love with it. And we did musicals, which embarked in dancing, which I loved, and we could sing, and we traveled all over the island. We even went to Venezuela representing Puerto Rico. We did so many great things. Fortunately, the government didn't have enough funds for our school, so the school closed after I graduated. So that school is no longer existent in Puerto Rico, so that's very heartbreaking. So after I graduated, I kind of just like wanted to continue into the same avenue, and I just feel like, I mean, I know what you're gonna say, but I feel like I'm not that great of an actress, and I've never considered myself that way, and I figured like maybe why don't I try something behind the scenes, and that's what I studied in college, film and television, and I absolutely just love it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love acting, and the opportunity to be able to act in Latin Lives the Play was absolutely amazing, and it kind of just like brought me back to like everything that I love about it, especially theater. But there's something about making it all happen and bringing it all together. And even though like I get crazy and stressed out and stuff, but these past few days we're like in pre-production now for web series, so there's not really much going on. We're just like debating on, okay, auditions, we gotta set this up or whatever. So there's not really like a lot of moving around. So I've been home and I've just been like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself here. I'm so bored.
Oh my god, really? I have stuff for you to do. You should have told me. I got tons of stuff I can tell you to do.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So wait. So let me ask you this: how? Because what people don't know is she's a legacy performer with Latin Lives because you found out about Latin Lives how?
By my wonderful and fabulous Aunt Marilyn, who she performed in Latin Lives 1998.
Yes, 98. Even I had to think about it for a second. I was like, right.
1998. And when I moved here, she told my Aunt Sharon, who I was living with at that moment, that I should talk to you about Latin Lives. I guess she heard that you were like trying to bring it back or something. And she's like, well, why don't you get in touch with him? And she was the one that got me in contact with you. Yeah. And I'm super grateful for it.
And I got a special thank you to Marilyn for sending me this angel here. Your aunt was, I've worked with so many different actresses who played Lourdes. Lourdes is one of our crazy lovable characters. Yeah. But I have a personal thing with Lourdes because I've always played Sammy. So each Lourdes that I work with, I've been lucky enough to really like and have some kind of connection. But Marilyn really, I really felt like she was my sister.
Energy.
You know what I mean?
She has this energy about her that is just if you gotta make sure she watches it. I miss you so much. You don't even know how much I miss you. I miss that working that year on the show with you was just the best. Mm-hmm. I just felt so connected. I mean our Sammy Lourdes, that wasn't even acting, girl. I miss you. I miss you. She's in Puerto Rico. If I spoke the language fluently, I think I'd still be living out there, honestly. Yeah. I really do. It's like, that's the life, you get off of work and just go to the beach. That's exactly what she does.
Why did my parents leave the island? Okay, anyway. Who's been your biggest inspiration?
Of course, what inspires me is my family, and I think my biggest inspiration is my mother. She's just, no words can describe this woman. She is the strongest, most independent, most caring and caregiving person in this entire planet. And she just inspires me every day. Like, everything I do is to make her proud of me and to say that, I did good. I did a good job raising her, and, she just goes through so much every day, and, everything that I do, I just want to make it and work hard just so that I can be able to help her and do everything for her, because she's just, absolutely amazing. And someone else who really inspires me is my girl, my Spankus, Olivia, which is Marilyn's daughter. And she's just so great, and she just recently became a mother, and just watching her be a mom is the greatest experience ever, and I just love that, and I just want to do everything for her and for my little Penelope, that it's just like, I even have her as a screensaver on my phone, like that's my little baby. Aww. She's just, you know, the cutest little thing in the world, like
I swear she looks just like her mama.
She does.
She really does.
She's just the cutest little thing ever, and I love them to death, and you know, they just inspire me so much to keep going, and they're so supportive of me. I can't, like, you know, it's like everything I do, they give me the adrenaline to like keep going, you know.
So what's been your favorite storyline on the web series thus far? We've had 8 episodes, our first season. For those of you who don't know, 8 episodes, first season on YouTube right now for free. Why aren't you watching?
Yeah, especially these cold days.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta catch up, because season 2's coming.
And watch this.
What's been your favorite storyline so far in those 8 episodes? What's been your like that you're just really loving, that you want to see what happens to this character, or you know?
Okay, I do love. There's so many things. I do love Bonnie so much. She's probably it's like I'm very sad that she's dead. I know. It sounds horrible. But if you watch episode 8, and at the end of the episode there's someone who looks a lot like her, and that to me is like, I just want to know what happens. It's like, is she back from the dead? Did she not die? Like, I don't know. I'm dying to see what happens with that, you know. I'm dying to see who this person is. Maybe she had a twin, I don't know, like, could it be? This is something that I really enjoy, and one of the characters that I'm loving so far, because I get to read scripts for the next season. So I'm very excited about this character, and it's Mo's character, Gabriel. Yes. I love that character, and he's just so good, and he makes my job so easy. So that's just I love that character, and I can't wait to, you know, show everyone what he gets to do. And
he made his debut in the final episode of the first season. And he'll be in the hot seat too. I'll be interviewing him. But he's amazing. He's amazing, and I can say, because I was fortunate to work opposite him in that last scene.
I love that character,
and he just effortless. It really was.
Yeah, I think that, you know,
we were there that day, and I think everybody felt that it was like, that had to be like the smoothest shoot we had.
And that's what, you know,
just an effortless scene.
It was funny. Me and Ray, our DP, shout out. Me and Ray were talking about it, and you know, it was the only scene we did that day, so I felt like we had the time to be able to, you know, play with different angles and be able to do so many different shots with it, that when it came time to, you know, post-production to edit, it was just so effortless to, like, kind of just, like, it worked all of it together, and it just told the story very nicely, you know? Yeah,
as an actor, was just like, he gave me so much to work with, and we did that first, and we were so wishing we had shot that run through rehearsal we did, because it was perfect.
It was so on point.
To the point and I had no intention of he made me cry.
Yeah,
he was
really good.
He was so believable and so real, and I'm just sitting there listening, and then the tears are just coming out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm crying. So he's awesome. He's awesome. So if you had all right, I don't know how to phrase this right way. Let's say you were the head writer.
Okay.
What would you want to do?
What would I want to do?
What would you want to see happen in season 2?
Wow, that is the.
That is our camera person, and she needs to be quiet.
Our camera person is like talking some crazy
shit. She's insane. Don't ignore her.
Okay.
Ignore her.
All right. Okay.
She's the devil.
I definitely want to see. There's so much stuff that I want to see. I definitely want to see more Lourdes, to see, like, if you know what happens with her and this whole nursing situation and whatever. I definitely want to see more Gabriel, because I just love him so much. I mean, and I know this sounds really bad. I really do know, and I do love him so much, but I want to see Sammy move on. I love him so much, but I feel
this is gonna be a hot topic. I see that already happening.
I feel like it's just, you know, if I were Sammy, I'd be like, yo, no, and you know what? speaking of which, if I were Norma also, I'd be like, yo, like, get out. Like, no. You know, even Viviana, I'd be like, no, you got a wee bit of a problem and you need to step out.
I don't want to give anything away, but I will say this. I promise there is definitely going to be more Lourdes. Lourdes is back with fire, and she's here to stay. And she's gonna be causing a lot of havoc. There is definitely more Gabriel. I mean, that without a doubt, Gabriel's gonna be all over the place. Have some great stuff coming up for him. Who else did you mention? Viviana?
I said Viviana Norma should move on from Joe because he's just.
I don't know. I mean, she's pregnant, so I don't know
know,
what to say
but
about
like
that.
just like the grandmother said, you know, like it's not 1950.
I know, but we'll see. As for Sammy, all I can say is there's gonna be a lot of changes for Sammy this coming year. Some good, some bad.
Tell me about it.
He's gonna be like a whole new Sammy. But you know, I will say Tony's not going anywhere. Tony will be there. You know, but who knows? I mean, look at it this way: if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I feel like he wants to convince me.
All right. Well, I thank you for joining us on the hot seat here and being interviewed. You mean so much to all of us. Thank you. Thank you just doesn't seem enough. I wish there was, you know, but you're the best. You're drives me crazy, but I love it.
La familia unida jamás será vencida. La familia unida jamás será vencida.